Raising money is really, really, really tough, especially from my background. I went to prison for about 3 years in Thailand. We are literally a blue ocean strategy product. There's no other that actually offers banking services worldwide.
You've reached Tobi and Brent. We'll get back to you.
Well, we're very excited today to have Jonathan with Biptap with us, and we're just wrapping up Token Week. There's been a lot of stuff going on, but Jonathan, thanks for coming on, and we'd love to just kind of dig in and just dive right in. How are things going at Biptap, and tell us more about you and kind of how you got started.
I think Biptap has gone through a crazy journey ever since we did the rebrand. We were previously called XSwipe. I think a lot of people have already known of XSwipe. Previously, we were like a crypto debit card offshore, crypto debit card white label solution provider. And after our funding, we actually rebranded to Biptap. And ever since, because we are now offshore banking infrastructure, a lot of interest has been coming. And yeah, it's been crazy.
Nice.
Amazing. What drove that rebrand?
I think one of the biggest reasons is because XSwipe is nice, but it's very generic, right? So we wanted a very, very unique name that's scalable. So, and also Biptap stands for Borderless Instant Payment, Tap, and we have a .com domain, so it was perfect.
Amazing. And Biptap, you guys made a lot of noise recently. You also the co-host for the event in Marquee, which was amazing. I think you had the most popping booth at the whole place. And but for anyone who doesn't know Biptap yet, how can they use it? What can they do with it? What makes it exciting?
I think, the event was amazing thanks to you guys. With a lot of amazing DJs. But definitely, I think what we really, really want is, I think we've been around building for about 3 to 4 years. And because of the bear market, and I've been bootstrapping this for a long time. So a lot of work has been done, waiting for the right moment and the right events to make a proper announcement.
Yeah.
So I think that was it's really aligned. It's the perfect timing to actually announce everything. And so what we actually want essentially is to make everyone know what we are doing, which is creating solutions for all these people that need banking solutions, that need to spend their crypto, which a lot of other brands or other products or services right now, they are not really solving the problem. They are just having a product that serves a specific region. So yeah.
So me and Brent, we travel a lot, bouncing around, and I'm quite interested in using the card. You promised me one.
Yep. With your branding.
With our branding, that'd be sick.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, we've been in South America, Europe, Southeast Asia, America.
So basically,
Mexico.
We can use that card almost anywhere.
Anywhere, everywhere around the world.
That is amazing. You
You can not only spend it via POS, you can even withdraw cash in ATMs in all countries.
This is complicated, no? How do you guys do that?
So because you are the tech provider, and we're actually working with a physical bank in Laos. So basically what we do is, because most crypto cards, they're each operating from a digital banking perspective, digital banking license. And because of that, there's a whole bunch of not to do, right? To do's and to don'ts. But because we are working and we built on a physical bank that is founded since 1989, very credible, second largest in the country with a crypto license, basically a lot of things can be done, which digital banking license cannot. So look at it this way. A digital bank, no matter what it is still a digital bank. There's no physical bank, there's no office. But because it's a physical bank, we are able to serve users from all over the world with no barriers. Of course, excluding North Korea, South Sudan, Iran, these blacklisted countries.
Yeah.
All countries in the world will be able to apply for a card. And essentially, when you apply for a card, it's not just a debit card or prepaid credit card. It's actually a offshore banking card. It comes with
wow.
an offshore bank account, and you have a debit card that you actually can load any cryptocurrency inside the card. It gets converted into fiat, and you can spend it anywhere around the world.
Wow.
That is
And
incredible.
where do you see like the biggest pain points? Like, is there particular regions of the world? Because, as investors, we see, similar types of like issues in many different parts of the world. So like, which regions, and like, can you maybe dive into like some of the challenges there that you like help solve?
Oh, that's a very, very good question because it's very broad. Basically, I think there's a lot of problems from two big, huge parts right now. One, a lot of big companies, they're not illegal in many countries, but they are deemed high risk to banks. Industries like gambling, gaming, even crypto is high risk to many countries.
Yeah.
Pawn, Forex, these industries, there's literally billions of dollars stuck. They cannot move out because of whatever reason in their specific countries. Be it, I don't want to mention sensitive stuff, but
Yeah.
so a lot of things cannot be done, and it's legal. It's just that it's too difficult to move money. And so the problem we are solving is exactly that, right? We help build an infrastructure that allows them to facilitate their money through our offshore bank. And we are literally a blue ocean strategy product. Why? Because there's literally no other that we know that actually offers banking services worldwide. That's usually very controlled to individual countries, right?
Yeah.
As a Singaporean, I cannot just go to Malaysia and open a bank account.
Yeah.
I need to have an address or an office or company there. Same for everywhere around the world. So our solution creates opportunities anywhere around the world for companies to be able to white label our banking as a service infrastructure in their company. Let's say gambling, right? Or maybe let's say, for example, OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans have, I think, 2 million creators all over the world. They're doing payouts so much overseas for profits.
Yeah.
I think probably a few hundred millions a month.
Yeah.
This alone, imagine the tax that they have to pay, the overseas transfers,
Yeah.
the tax that they have to pay. What if this whole infrastructure can be used internally, right? Everything is being done internally. Everyone has a bank account with us. So we're solving that problem.
So it's basically a B2B product as well.
Yes.
For these businesses in itself, that they can just build on your banking infrastructure that you've created.
Correct. So we are actually pivoting more out of B2C. We have a B2C model, but we are moving more towards B2B infrastructure.
Yeah,
I think one of the things that I forgot to mention as well is emerging markets. So basically, the recent months, we have a lot of interest from LATAM and Africa because these countries are emerging. A lot of crypto are now projects from these regions. They have licenses in their country, but they cannot receive funding from US and Europe. I mean, you guys run the fund as well, right? Transferring funds into these high-risk countries, you're afraid, let's say 500,000, it might enter the bank, it might get confiscated.
Yeah.
Right. So nobody dares to invest.
Right.
So we are literally solving that problem for them, for their economy, because they have lots of local startups, maybe in LATAM that want to, crypto or whatever. So yeah, those are the.
And how big is the team now of Biptap? And are they mostly based here or like?
I think right now we have a team of about 40 to 50 people. The core team, we have about 10. But because thanks to our investors, the last round, basically they are incubating us. They are based in Romania. They have a whole building filled with very talented team members that's working with them for years. Basically, it's instant synergy where, everything we need they have. They have a whole team of devs, logistics, customer service, design team. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
So we initially had a very, lean team of about maybe 8 to 9. Ever since we met them, we just basically, all the team is for us to use and we've just expanded from there.
That's incredible.
And how did you guys maybe like dive in also to like your kind of like story and like how you like started Biptap and your background that kind of led you to starting the like company. Cause we, especially investing around the like globe, like people come from all different types of backgrounds and, build like large organizations. So yeah, I'd just like love to hear like how you kind of got started with Biptap and how your background helped you do that.
Especially because, your background is inspiring, right? I think there's a lot of interesting parts that we can unpack here and also kind of understand a little bit more like how did you become the person who you are today?
I have a very unconventional and colorful past. I love to tell people that I think my life is really like a story, because maybe I'll just shorten it on the more interesting parts.
Sure.
So yeah, I used to be in nightlife when I was young. Since I was 17, I was in nightlife, and then I started a model agency when I was really young, 19 years old. And our model agency grew really fast, and we were doing a lot of model shows all around Singapore. And then I started operating clubs. We have multiple clubs in few locations, popular clubs in Singapore. And then I got married. So getting married changed a lot in me. I changed a lot. I became more focused, less rebellious. And then everything was good until, unfortunately, nightlife took its toll. Because, you can't balance nightlife every night with a wife who doesn't like nightlife.
Yeah, that's
so
challenging.
We had a divorce, unfortunately. And yeah, after the divorce, I think my life went downhill. So basically, I packed my bags, I went to Thailand, and I thought, okay, fuck it, I'm going to spend a few months, have all the fun, because I was married for 5 years. 4 years, I think. All the fun I had, then I'm going to restart. Unfortunately, I got caught in Thailand. I got arrested for some stuff. And then I went to prison for about 3 years in Thailand, in one of the worst prisons in Thailand.
Jeez. Yeah.
I worked at the German embassy before a little bit, and they brought me to meet the German prisoners in a Thai prison. And I've only been there for a couple of hours, but Jesus, man, this is a horrible place.
I think prison really changed me a lot because I'm from Singapore. And I think Singapore is quite fortunate. A lot of things I think we are quite entitled. I don't know if it's the right word to use. Fortunate.
Yeah.
Everything is
safe.
human rights,
the safest city in the world.
Being safe, good,
So
organized.
as a normal Singaporean, you won't really get exposed to so much fear of your life.
Yeah.
But in Thai prison, it's completely different because it's the worst prison in Thailand. There's basically no human rights. People die, they just carry the body out. You sleep on the floor, with one shoulder over another. And the food, in all prisons or all hierarchies, there's a hierarchy, right? The food gets taken by the bosses and then left the scraps with no meat, with just soup and water to eat, and it's terrible.
Yeah. It's so interesting. To have that much time, just to your like self, and just being in a place where there's no freedom. And like, because when you think about being a founder and like the challenges, right? Like starting a company and like the resilience and the, just flat out, Elon Musk has said many times, sometimes as a founder, a lot of it is just staring out into the abyss.
Exactly.
Sometimes. So like in some ways that mental, call it torture or preparation, then like running like a company and like the challenges that come to running a company, like talk about like some like the lessons that you kind of like learned from that. Cause like I can imagine it's, once you go through that, what are you afraid of? Probably nothing.
Yeah, so I think a lot of things, I'm a very self-aware person, right, since young. I think a lot of things I wanted to change, I couldn't because of my surrounding. Only when I went to prison. Of course, the first few weeks was torture, but after that, I started meditating, I started self-development journey, I started buying books. After a few months, I started changing my mindset because you will definitely go crazy in a place like that. So I think the biggest takeaway I have from that, I mean, to me right now, even if everyone asks me about my past, I always tell them it's a blessing to me because prison changed me to who I am now. And I think a lot of things that I was very inconsistent, I was very emotional when I was younger. But now I think I have a very, very strong iron mind, and I have perseverance and grit more than many founders I know. I mean, 99% of the founders quit anytime there's a problem, right?
Yeah.
But for example, for XSwipe, we went through 3 to 4 years of multiple rugs and dips, bear markets, bootstrap the company till now. And like what you said, Elon Musk said, right, it's like chewing glass and staring at the abyss.
Yeah.
Like you have nobody to help you, nobody to understand your vision. It's only because of my prison experience that gave me that very, very hyper-focused goal to fight on and, to see the light in the tunnel, even if there's no light, But you have to, because nobody's going to help you, right? So that's what I think really gave me the confidence, the clarity, and the perseverance and grit to do whatever it takes to reach my goal.
We also, you mentioned before we had a chat also, you came out of this whole experience, you got back to Singapore and you basically had nothing, right?
Yeah.
They took your computer, your phone. You also basically cut out, like a couple of years from society in a sense, right? And now you're here and, you built a business, you have a team, you raised capital. It's a very, very challenging thing to do.
It
so
is.
I'd love to understand, how was that journey from having nothing to being here?
I think, to be honest, the first few weeks, I think because I had very clear goals. I think one thing that I had, because I read a lot of books, I wrote very clear vision boards, what I want to do. When I came out, I was depressed because none of them I could do because the world changed, right? And I came out, I thought I'm going to contact this guy, that guy. But when I came out, like you said, my phone and laptop was confiscated. My Facebook and Instagram got deactivated. So I literally had no way to contact anybody I know. It's all in my mind. I have no way. I can remember their name, not even their surname, no way to contact them. So I had to go back to starting point in my life, which I then hated. I didn't want to touch nightlife, but I went to nightlife again so that to get my contacts back, because that's the only thing I knew at that time.
Right.
So I started grinding and working hard, and through that, I started what I was strong in, which was marketing. I discovered that, I'm actually strong in marketing, right? That was how I did my model agency and stuff. So I started learning. And then after the marketing agency, I met a lot of wonderful people, which I think, thanks to me being more spiritual and religious, I see that they are sent from God, by God, angels in my life, to help me. And then things just start picking up because people see the sincerity I have. And ever since I've been out, I have non-stop been self-development, learning, because, you can't learn when your cup is full. If you think you're smart, you think you're successful, right? But back then I thought I had nothing. So I was learning everything. Marketing, blockchain technology. That was when I saw, I think a lot of people have problems with their money, right? And what is blockchain? So I started reading and I thought it was interesting. And then one thing that majorly impacted my life, I think I didn't share with many people yet, it was because I was really big on being religious and law of attraction. I just randomly thought, what if, because I like to be the winner all the time in everything I do. But because I was so down the race, everyone was way ahead of me because I just came out. I thought, if only I could have a hard reset, like a video game. I promise, I didn't know who I was praying to, whether it's God, whether it's the universe. I said, if only I could have one chance to have a hard reset in the world, I promise I'll work extremely hard to be successful, to be influential, and I want to give back to you, give back to God, give back to society. And guess what? COVID happened. Few weeks after I said that. And I was like, this is a sign from God. This is the universe. I have to, give what I promised. And since then, I think it was 3-4 years ago, I started working like a madman. Started learning blockchain, diving deep inside, getting my hands dirty, trading NFTs, and starting an NFT Web3 marketing agency. And I started advising my friends to launch out projects which they are longer in crypto than me. That was where I saw, hey, I see a lot of projects, and I saw a very, very clear problem to solve, which is the financial problems, which is the banking and it's funny enough because I'm from Singapore and I started dealing in crypto. I want to cash out my crypto, but we have no crypto debit card in Singapore. I was like, why? And then I started digging. Many countries have no access to crypto cards. It's exchange and OTC, which is P2P. Right. Super risky. And I got scammed. Like, I sent P2P. Yeah. I got scammed. I was like, hey, I think I'm going to do my own crypto debit card, Like, why not? Let's just do a decentralized debit card, not like the rest. And then I started talking to my co-founders. We started looking for banks, that's where everything started. 2021, we started launching a prototype. It worked. 2022, we launched it successfully in Solana. That was where my entrepreneur founders journey really, really started in 2022 because it materialized. Unfortunately, we launched successfully in Solana. We were very hyped. Everyone talked about us. After we launched, we saw our NFT collection. We wanted to be unconventional, right? And NFT-backed community crypto debit card. We launched it, sold out within 2 seconds, had a lot of hype for about 1 month, only 1 month. And then I think Luna happened. Luna happened. Three Arrow Capital happened. And then our treasury was bad, trying to struggle to survive. And FTX happened and we were dead. Yeah. So we had to rebrand to XSwipe. And then that was where we were doing multi-chain because everyone was saying like, why are you building on a scam chain? I want to use your card, but I don't want Solana. But we built everything in Solana because back then Solana was the chain to go.
That's the main thing.
Exactly. So yeah, after that, XSwipe, and then people were comparing us with Crypto.com and other credit cards. Like, what makes you stand out? And that was where we thought, okay, look, we have a very unique selling point. We are the first in the world that actually allows you to load directly from MetaMask, Phantom self-custody wallets. Yeah. And we have an offshore banking infrastructure. Let's do fundraise. Let's build the whole infrastructure and do B2B, not B2C anymore. That was where we managed to do a fundraise successfully after going through hundreds or maybe even thousands of VCs through 2023, bear market, the worst time to raise. So spoke to so many people and managed to close around, I think, 5 months ago. And from then, we built a whole banking infrastructure and now pivoted to Biptap, which is providing not just custom crypto debit card white label solutions, but banking as a service, banking infrastructure for companies. So that's my whole journey from SoulSwipe to Biptap.
Very interesting that you said you talked to so many VCs because we hear it a lot that founders are engaging these conversations and they had 10 conversations and be like, oh, I'm not able to raise. Or 15 conversations or 20, right? And it's not easy to raise capital. Obviously it depends a lot on the market and all the circumstances, but just generally speaking, it's not just, I'm getting support or I'm reaching out to a couple of friends. This is almost a full-time job raising capital, right? Predominantly for the executives of the company because they know the business best and probably have the best connections. But share a little bit, maybe if you can disclose some of the fundraising details you had or how was that journey? And here again, is that part of the consistency and the mindset you have from all the crazy things that happened in the past?
I think absolutely that had a immediate impact in my fundraise because, to be honest, raising money is really, really, really tough, especially from somebody from my background with no background at all from finance, no VC connects at all. I had to start from scratch, knocking on doors, cold calling, going to all the hundreds of events just to reach out to them and being rejected. I think it's the grit that I have because of prison, the perseverance that, just keep going, and yeah, I think one of the things that really, really helped me a lot, which I think was also another turning point in this whole Biptap journey, is I was raising for about 8 months in 2023, when the start of the bear market.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to share that part of my life because I have 5 years missing, right? From the time of arrest to the release in prison. And I think when I speak to VCs, they ask, and my background don't sound very, very colorful. Like, oh yeah, okay, so you and this, so what, Until one of our very, very, maybe I shouldn't mention his name. He's one of the top, I think he was managing one of the top funds in crypto during a certain phase in time. But something happened, right? So I was having a conversation with him thanks to one of our investors, and he was asking me like, I only invest in projects and founders who have a backstory and a chip on their shoulder. And then I just casually asked, can I share with you my story? And I shared with him, and he was like, hey, are you raising capital? I said, we are, but we just closed. He said, can I have some allocation? I really want to invest in you. I want to help you. So that was when I realized, hey, maybe being authentic, being unfiltered, people may want to help me, because initially I didn't want to share it all because I worried people judge me. Oh, this guy's been to prison. And so I think that was a huge turning point. And since then, all these people that have invested, they are like, hey, I want to introduce you to this guy. I really like John. I really want to help him. I hope you can help him too. If you want, ask him his story. And that's where everybody here. And because ever since then, I mean, it's not just talk. I have been to 2 times, one in Bali prison, another one is to a group. I've shared my life testimonial in the prison in Korobokan, Bali. I think I didn't share with you yet.
No.
So basically, they invited me to the prison for sharing, and there were 120 prisoners. The previous month, when they went, only 14 baptized. But when I went, I was sharing my story just from being in prison, my life before prison, in prison, after prison, and how God has helped me so much. To everybody that I'm meeting, everyone is helping me incredibly. After my speech, more than 90% of the people raised their hand when they asked who wants to join the next sharing session to know more about God. More than 90 people raised their hand.
Wow.
So that was what I think really changed me. And I started being more religious, from spiritual to religious. And surprisingly enough, all the people and advisors and investors that are helping me now, they are Christians. They are like, I don't know why, but I really like you. What do you do? And I just shared, I do crypto. I want you to meet this guy, and this guy invests. And like, they invest me in this guy, and they send white labels for us. It's all for a bigger purpose. And I asked him, hey, let's do a contract to do some agreement. He said, no, let's not talk about money. I want to help you succeed. So I've been meeting a lot of these kind of incredible people that I think really want to help me sincerely, because they see that I've been working so hard for 3 years, and I've been doing a lot of charity work for the last 2 years, even before I have funding, when I'm struggling. So I pray, I give back to society when I'm struggling. Even now, everything is so much better. I still do give back to society. I find time to go down and impact people. Then I think this is a very clear purpose in my life, which I think brings us to the next topic, which is why I'm doing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that I'm doing now is because, like I said, I was praying that, I want to be influential, I want to be successful, I want to help millions of people in their life. So I've actually started already this journey. I've been writing a book on my journey and how prison has changed my life, and for how entrepreneurs can use this story to change theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's incredible, man. Yeah.
And, with Biptap, and your whole journey. How do you see that being? I want to go back to a little bit like Biptap, right? Because I do think it is a very interesting business and a very interesting business model, especially the B2B side. And with your mindset of kind of giving back after all, the hardship you had. And what's the vision for Biptap in terms of helping the people, right? How do you see, let's say, 2-3 years from now, right? Biptap is scaling, companies doing well. How would that impact the world?
Yeah, I think I left out earlier as well on giving back to people, because I think the people that really need help the most are the more underprivileged people, the unbanked people in Africa, unbanked people in Latin America, right? I think that is also a huge target that we want to focus on, because a lot of these people, they don't even have bank accounts. They might be working, earning pennies for a dollar. They need bank accounts to start using stuff. So that is one of the goals that we want to achieve as well. Like we want to create, like we already created a solution to bank the unbanked, bank the underbanked. I mean, people have been saying they want to do this for years,
forever,
but they don't have an actual,
amount of pitch decks I've seen that say that.
Yeah, bank the unbanked.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
they have a deck, but we have already done it.
Yeah.
So I think Biptap, the projection for the upcoming years is crazy, because we have a ton of really crazy, again, all grace to God. The connections that we have recently are crazy. So basically one of our, I think I shouldn't mention it publicly on live,
Sure.
but it's a multi-billion-dollar content creation company. I think you guys probably know, like, and a few others in gambling and gaming. So that is the direction that we're going to go, like offshore banking infrastructure, not just for Web3, for Web2.
Yeah.
From these sort of services. And the goal for Biptap would be to go global, build our branding, and like this event.
So we have a globe in front of you.
Yes, like this successful event with you guys. I think we really make a big impact in this Token 2049. Many people has been wondering what we do. And
I mean, I saw your booth also. It looked insane. It looked amazing. I got a beer there yesterday.
yeah, so we have 20 models. Like all these ideas, it's very unconventional, right? So instead of getting a booth in Token 2049, we had 20 booths, 20 models wearing a brand, walking around with our NFC cards, giving them.
Well, you're very good at marketing. You know how to get the name out there.
With the attention.
No, because look, if it's going to be a booth, there's hundreds of booths all over the.
That's true. I mean, it's at every, especially early stage companies, at its core is like, I forget who said it a long time ago, but no one can buy from you if they don't know who you are.
Exactly.
So if you're not good at marketing, you can get your name out there. You guys do that in a very, visible way. Right. And like, that's how we got to meet you guys. And like now we're collaborating on events and a lot of things moving forward. But as we like wrap up here, I guess maybe give us kind of like one kind of insight you see in the future, next 6 to 12 months, like in the crypto markets, like what's kind of like a prediction maybe you have on the next 6 to 12 months, like where the market's going?
I mean, to be honest, I never really looked at the market at all, because I've been super busy building Biptap. But I think the sentiments would probably improve in the next 3 to 6 months, I think. But again, it's unpredictable, because we don't know if Donald Trump or Kamala is going to win. If one of them, either one wins, definitely it's either going to pump like crazy or it's going to go down very bad. But even if it goes down bad, I believe fiat is going to go down somewhere. The money is going to flow somewhere, and I think it's still going to be Bitcoin. So I honestly think, my personal opinion, not financial advice, I think Bitcoin will pump in the next, 6 months to a year, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not an analyst, so I don't know.
For sure. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Well, thanks for coming on, John. This was an incredible conversation. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to really love to hear your story and like how that's impacted your company and like how you've became so successful in such a short period of time. I mean, like you think back in someone's life, just a couple of years goes by from where you came from to now. It's like incredible. So seriously, thank you for coming on.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Pleasure. See you guys.